Welcome back, everyone. In this episode of Chinese Man's Cheap Cooking, I'm going to show you how to make rice on the stovetop. Now, why would you make rice on the stovetop instead of a rice cooker? Maybe because 1, you don't have a rice cooker, 2, you don't want to buy a rice cooker, or 3, you get free cheap cooking gas and included in your rent, so you don't want to pay for electricity. Or maybe it's all 3 of the above, but either way, today you will learn how to make great tasting rice on the stovetop. Now, what do you need to make this? All you need is a pot and rice. But it's not just normal rice, it's secret rice. I'm going to tell you the secret at the end of this video. So, 1 cup of rice, just pour into the pot like so. And then you want about a cup and a quarter to a cup and a half of water. So it really depends on what kind of rice you have. If you have brown rice, it takes a little bit more water. White rice, a little bit less water. If you have our secret ingredient, it's a little bit more water. But generally, if it's just white rice, probably a cup and a quarter per cup of rice. If it's brown rice, cup and a half. You can adjust it to taste. All depends on how dry or wet you want your rice to be. And then you just mix it in, put it on the stove, and turn on the fire to the max. Alright, so as you can see, I put the rice into the bowl, and then from here, just put it on the stove, put the fire on max until it boils. After it boils, you want to turn the heat to low, and then let it just sit there for another 10 minutes or so, and then your rice is ready. Keeping in mind that if you have things in your rice like beans or lentils, it takes a little bit more cook time just for it to soften, especially if you don't pre-soak it. Once it starts foaming up like this, just switch it to low heat so it doesn't boil over, and then just give it another 10 minutes or so and it should be ready. After the 10 minutes, just leave it there for it to cool down for another 10 minutes before you serve. Don't open the cover because that way the heat and moisture will escape. If you do open the cover, then you just have to adjust for adding more water in the beginning. So the rice, after it's ready, will look like this. This has been after it boiled and then set to low heat for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then the fire turned off, and then it's pretty much ready to eat, but I'm just going to let it cool down a little bit, and then it'll help absorb any of the remaining moisture as well. The secret ingredient for very cheap and healthy rice is, before you put the rice in to be cooked, get a big bag, put probably 50% rice, 10% lentils or beans, and voila, you have a high protein rice that's extra healthy, and also it's super cheap. It's vegetarian as well. And there you have it, folks. Perfect rice on a stovetop. For more cheap eats by Chinese Man, drop a subscribe and let me teach you how to make delicious, cheap meals super easy.